Hey guys, Vlad Moldavsky here from MeetAdvisors.com. I'm joined with Alex Cheng, CFO and partner at Blue Solutions. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming by today. We had a chance to get to know you off the camera, and we were really excited to get you in here to talk to our community about, Blue Solutions. What do you do? And tell us everything, I guess.
Sure. What Blue Solution does is we service a new group of builders that focus on student housing apartment. They typically build outside of campus within their target area is between half a mile to up to 2 or 3 miles. They build these highly amenitized apartment unit specifically tailored to the student of that particular college. So it's much easier to manage a group of peers that has the same interests, and also provides a student alternative of either on-campus housing or off-campus single unit apartments or single-family home, which are not as secure, not as nicely amenitized. And this group of builder has been very successful. There are currently 3 major REITs that's trading on the market. That's American Campus Community, the symbol is ACC. We also have Campus Crest, which is the smallest one, symbol CCG, and also Education Realty Trust, symbol EDR. And while their stock performance are up and down, but the entire industry has enjoyed a very big growth. Recent EDR release, their revenue result is 25% increase in 1 year. So they recently had a very successful offering, 120% oversubscribed. So this whole industry is growing, and while they're growing, they require a lot of amenities. Part of them is furniture. So furniture is a very important part, and a lot of time that is a determination of the kids if they want to choose this particular apartments or not. So the builders are spending a lot of time and energy on selecting the furniture. They hire private private designers, interior designer. They go a very long way of tailor to their future tenants.
Why millennials? So it seems like you're not really working with the millennials, but you're trying to get to the source, the people who cater to the millennials.
Correct.
Why in the world millennials?
We focus on millennial obviously for the macro reason is because collectively they have a very substantial buying power. But specifically, more focused than just millennial, we're focusing on just the college students, right? Which is really, if you count graduate student is anywhere between 18 and 24. Predominantly is 19 to 21. So this is a very narrow group of people, but they have their own taste and choices. While we don't sell directly to them, because these apartments are making the purchase, not the individual student, but the purchase direction of this developer is basically based on their taste, because the relationship is they collect money from the millennials, which are the students, and then we collect money from the builder. So while the builders or developer are a customer, but indirectly the millennials are our customer. So we have to build something that will suit their taste and need. We're adding, power strip USB port on furniture, just little things like that, because we know every student in the college have at least 3 devices that always need to be plugged in.
Yeah,
right.
iPhone,
That's
iPad.
just an example. Right, just an example.
So, I guess my question is, you go into a situation where you're pitching this developer, right? And I guess this is a part 2 question. Number 1, do you have to do any convincing of, hey, our furniture is the best for millennials? But more importantly, how do you back that up? Number 2, are you able to work with a developer on a custom basis? So, I mean, do you make custom furniture for
Absolutely.
housing?
Absolutely. That's one of the few things that we're very good at is we custom make furniture, because the founder of this business he's a designer background, so he does furniture design, he does interior design before he started business. So we're very strong in customization, and we have acquired many customers who pay special attention to the design. And we work with a designer because a designer may like our stock line item but want to make some modification, and we can do that. As far as how we measure up against our competitors, first of all, the supply chain in the student housing furniture market is a very small group of suppliers. There's not a lot of competition in the supply end of it yet. I'm sure more people will join in, but it's also not that easy to jump in either. Mm-hmm. So we back up our furniture specifically with a 10-year warranty on all the case goods. So we also have over 60,000 beds out there in the last 10 years. So we have a long list of references. You know, people can actually go see what our furniture looked like 2 years after, 3 years after. So that's the best advertising, is to show your product. How do they survive the destruction of these tenants?
Phenomenal. I guess, really I have one other question before we, wrap things up. So you've obviously have a lot of experience. We talked before this, you've been in multiple industries. You've been in the corporate setting, you've been in the entrepreneur setting. What's the ultimate takeaway when you're growing a business? What do you have to look out for? Maybe you can speak to all entrepreneurs, but then also talk a little bit, touch on, your niche, your industry.
Right. Starting from our own business, we started as a furniture supplier for many, many years. But I always believe that when you open one door, there's many doors behind it. So while we're dealing with a developer on our furniture, we also develop a kitchen and bath department, which is growing probably faster than the furniture, because all the developer seems to have trouble finding a reliable supplier. And we also have a Blue Capital, which we do a lot of case study and matchmaking of the need and the supply of fund and the available land, the expertise. So personally, my advice to all entrepreneurs is the business model of an enterprise is the key to determine the success or failure. When you started in the wrong business model, you're doomed to fail. There is no chance for you to win. If you look around, all the successful business is all because they have a business model that's sustainable. And the business model may be working in a certain period of time, but if it doesn't keep up with the time, that same business model is not going to last forever. So also you have to be able to make turns as needed. BlackBerry is a good example. They were the hottest commodity. I remember when Obama was elected 2008, which wasn't, centuries ago. He was so proud to demonstrate his BlackBerry. I'm sure he wouldn't do that today. Mm-hmm. So what makes one product to be the star into the ditch in such a short period of time is because they fail to make turns. They stick on their paths, and that's a straight path, and they refuse to make turns. So I would say that's something I would suggest to everyone that has a business to keep that in mind. You have to start with the right business model, which RIM did with the BlackBerry, but they failed to make the turn. That's why they failed. And the same thing can be applied to Nokia and several other, yesterday's stars.
Phenomenal. Well, Alex, thanks a lot for joining us today. It was a pleasure. We enjoyed it. Okay. Guys, check out website
www.bluefurnituresolutions.com
and meetadvisors.com for more blogs. Thanks a lot, guys.